CAmpillo. My topic is all about knowing oneself. This is continuation of 10 reasons why self-awareness is your the greatest asset. Number 5. You know what your values are. It says here, you know what you will and won't tolerate. You set boundaries for yourself and won't let yourself or anyone else cross the line. It means that our values inform our thoughts, words, and actions. Knowing our values is important because it helps us to make decisions, to take an action, and focus on by moving towards the life that we want to live and to create the future that we want to express. In personal values, it is about right and wrong and may or may not be. This behavior, it motivates us and guide our decision. So there are different actions in many forms. Like, for example, maybe you are value in honesty, and some people are competitive, and the others' values is adventure. So these great resources assess is identifying your values, whether you are focusing too much attention on some values or too little attention on others. So it is important to know our values are for being as to aware and by identifying what the consequences of our action. Number 6, you trust your intuition. It says that your intuition is that gut feeling that tells you when you are on the right track and when you are not. Has your gut feeling ever really been wrong? And when your self-awareness game is strong. So what does it mean? In an old saying, trust your gut. So it is refers to trusting these feelings of intuition. After as a way to be true to yourself, following your instinct can certainly direct you towards the best path of for you. And yet you might wonder whether you should put so much trust in a feeling or an instinct that you can explain. About the quote of intuition by Einstein, according to my research, this supposed quote seems to be one of many fake quotes attributed to Einstein, in which he supposedly says mystical or spiritual things which do not fit with what we know about the feelings. This quote yet is more comprehensive version. It sounds like authentic, but no reliable source was ever discovered in Einstein writing. So there's no Einstein did make such a statement. Number 7, you notice when you have unkind thought, whether you are being unkind to yourself or others. You recognize this and make an effort to change the way you think. You may not positive all the time, so let's face, but be sure you know you how to get yourself into a positive mindset. A negative attitude is a sure way towards achieving total life. Dissatisfaction and pushing people away from yourself. If you had a few bad experiences when you try to change or influence the world around you, then it's like that only resulted is further disappointment. However, there's always one thing you can do, and it is no small matter, but something achievable. If you really want to do it, change yourself. But how? By achieving a positive mindset. Yes, if you think positively, your language and behavior become more optimistic, consequently, making a positive impact on your habit. Like, for example, learn how to accept rejection, rejected by loved ones, rejected by application, or even the friendship. However, it's painful. You shouldn't allow these unpleasant events to overwhelm you. What's much what's much better is to perceive rejection as a challenge and analyze the situation. Understand why it happened and how they improve in order to prevent this from happening in the future. So that is how to build a growth mindset. So don't allow yourself to fall into a desperate void. And the second, like for example, surround yourself with positive people. People who surround us reflect our personality and attitude. So take a look around. Are you surrounded by positive or negative people? Number eight, you understand that your perspective frames your belief. You recognize that your beliefs, values, thoughts, and action are there because of your life experience and what you allow to influence you. You understand that this is the same for everyone else, and therefore you understand that there is more than one way to see or do something. Yes, framing is an important consideration in changing mind as we perceive what we consider to be reality through subconscious frame because we see perception as real, we believe others must also see them as real. So in this way, it can act to change belief and values. Number nine, you know what you need to change. If things don't seem to be going the way you might have hoped, you know it's up to you to change something, whether it's the direction you're heading or just the method you're using to get there. So, it is amazing thing about change is that it's always possible. You can always change your situation, whether that be your career or your relationship. But sometimes it can be hard to know what is time to make a change. We can be stuck, scared, or overwhelmed by the situation, and this causes us to worry over whether it's time to make a change. So there are common signs that it's time for you to finally make a change. Like for example, you live in a past or dream of your someday future. Someday will never happen. If you don't take the steps you need to get there, all you have is the present. The past and the future exist only in your head. The present is here right now. So make a change and finally begin to enjoy what you have. Number 10, you're mindful of your action. You act with purpose because you know your strength. You stick to your values and you trust your intuition. Knowing oneself is critical to being an effective team member as well as being successful in life, work, and relationship. Your personal identify influence everything you do and changes and evolves over time. So it means that bringing your whole self into the present moment, engage with life, and it unfold its power lies and us to practice and application. The more you are mindful of your action, the less pain and suffering you encounter.